Hi, I'm Kerry Edwards, and I am an underwater photographer. I'm a scuba diver, obviously, and I've been scuba diving for 12 years. My husband and I learned a little later in life, and we love it, and we took to it right away. I then got interested in photography underwater. I was not a photographer before that. The thing that drew me to underwater photography was we were over in Hawaii and I bought a disposable underwater camera, and although the pictures were terrible, I looked at them that night and I remembered everything about my dive, and it was just awesome. And so after that I started learning about photography and am at the point I am today. So it's been about a 10-year process. Knew nothing about photography and learned all underwater, not underwater, but taking classes and such. I take lots and lots of pictures, and thank goodness for digital as opposed to film. Well, it's different with underwater pieces because I'm not a painter or an artist that puts things together in stages. So I would say I come away from a dive will last about 45 minutes to an hour, and I may have 100 pictures. And so it's many hours taking all of those pictures and choosing the ones that I think are, well, actually I take the pictures and I put them on my computer, and then I look at which ones I think are worthy of a second look, and so I push the others aside, and the ones I take a second look at, then I narrow it down maybe to a third look. And once they get the third look, it means they're worthy of having some editing done. I find that I have to take a good picture first, because if you take not a very good picture and then you use like Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop or Lightroom, which are programs that can help you make pictures better, but if you don't have a good picture in the beginning, the picture at the end is not going to look very good either. So it's many hours, and it is over time. So I can't really put a time on the pictures that I took here, because if you take a look at them, they're from all different locations in the world and all different places. I do take my camera with me everywhere, every time I go underwater. I've had several cameras over the course of the years. Right now, my best and last camera is a big setup. It has to be set on a tray. It's a normal regular camera, but it's in a big underwater housing. And then I have two big arms that have big light strobes on them. The thing about underwater is you lose light very quickly, and when you lose light, you lose color. So generally you'll use light to shine on what you're taking a picture of. The camera that I had before is a smaller one. It's still just a regular camera, but it's in a smaller case, and the flash is inside the case. And so it takes different types of pictures. There's some pictures I can get clear into, like we dive in the Pacific Northwest, where there are giant Pacific octopus that are oftentimes hiding in their dens. And I can't get my nice big camera anywhere close to get those octopus, but I can take my small one and get further in to get that octopus. So I travel with one or the other. I travel with both. I choose one or the other every time I go diving. I chose the pictures for this gallery in here because, first of all, I think they're good pictures. They were some of my better ones that I like, and also because people are not generally familiar with the underwater world. Anytime I have a display up, I try to choose a variety of pictures. I try to choose fish in warm water and fish in cold water, mammals. I have some sea lions and turtles, which aren't mammals, but I have some sea lions and some turtles, and I also have some plants, some underwater scenes, because I think it represents, from cold water and warm water, a variety of things that one would see if you were scuba diving. I also have descriptions about what the picture shows, and also some information about the picture, because sometimes I understand that people are maybe more interested in that, and it's a learning experience. Where better to do that than a library? I think the most misunderstood thing about diving is that people generally have two different attitudes. They either are enthralled with it and think it's just something they would like to do, or they, nope, can't do it, I'm claustrophobic, which always strikes me as, especially if you're in warm water, because you can see 100 feet. I don't quite understand that, being a diver, don't understand the claustrophobic part, but you know, I can't jump out of an airplane, and some people probably wouldn't understand that. Underwater photography is way different than land photography for many reasons. I learned underwater, which I think probably helps my photography, and I learned all the nuances of underwater photography as opposed to photography on land. I do not take good pictures on land. Even with a cell phone. First, you have to be comfortable with diving. When you're in the water, you can't be doing this. You're what you call neutrally buoyant. So you have to be able to hang like a fish and hold your camera steady so what you're taking a picture of is in focus. Secondly, I'm taking pictures through water. And the water is clearer in warm water than cold water, but it still has a lot of particulate in it, and if you don't get your lighting just right, it'll look like a snowstorm with something in the background back there. And third, many of the things that I take pictures of move, and they move very quickly. I choose to print my pictures mostly on aluminum, like this. I tried to print some on canvas. Just wondering, a lot of people had said, oh, have you ever tried printing on canvas? And I thought, well, no, I haven't. And so I printed this picture, which is a green sea turtle. And I printed it on aluminum, and I thought, oh, I wonder what it would look like on canvas. And I don't know about you, but I think that the aluminum one is just, the colors pop, and it's so much better than the canvas. So I tried a couple different pictures that way and stuck with the aluminum one. Probably a professional photographer that I did a workshop, a day-and-a-half workshop with about 4 years ago. I had started with a little kind of a beginning entry-level camera and had all auto settings because I didn't know what to do. And then I started learning a little bit more and got a better camera, learning a little bit more, and I was ready to feel like I really need to talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about to teach me and not just read in books. And so I hired a professional photographer, professional underwater photographer, and he's just a terrific kid. He's a young kid, and he's just so good at all of it. And he also lives in the Northwest, knows a lot about cold water, where we dive a lot, and he responds to me every time I ask a question or show him things, and he's just been really helpful in that way. Art is important not only for the culture of the artists, but also the viewers. As an artist, when I'm taking pictures, diving is very healing for me. It's very calm. It's very kind of meditative. I'm always focused on what I'm doing diving because it's a sport that you have to be careful and watch your computers and things like this, but it's also just very quiet and tranquil. It's comforting and satisfying as a photographer to see things come to fruition from, look at that I took a picture of, look at that I took a picture of, and I remember what that looked like underwater, and see it from seeing it underwater to seeing it printed on aluminum. My hope as of the viewer is that my pictures will evoke emotions and feelings in the viewers. Curiosity, wonder, maybe awe or excitement, because those are the very things as a scuba diver that I experience when I go scuba diving.